like, subscribe, and leave a comment. So UFC 292 in Boston in the TD Gardens. The main event is Aljamain Sterling versus Sean O'Malley. Obviously, we know who Aljamain Sterling is. He's the champion of the bantamweight division, number 6 rank in that men's pound for pound. Record is 23-3. That's a really good record. Recent wins over Henry Cejudo, Triple C, but yeah, he beat him, split decision, and he did win that fight. I watched it multiple times. I gave that fight to Aljamain Sterling for sure. 3 rounds to 2, you could even say 4-1. Then he beat TJ Dillashaw before that at UFC 280 in Abu Dhabi. And then he beat Peter Yan twice, obviously the illegal knee, and beat him by split decision after that. I just want to say one thing. The greatest bantamweight of all time, I'd say, still is Dominic Cruz. But if we're talking about the greatest bantamweight champion in the UFC, we're talking about that is Aljamain Sterling. Let's just say one thing. Aljamain Sterling in the bantamweight division in the UFC as UFC champion. He's defended the title 3 times now. Dominic defended it twice as a UFC champion. Before that, he was a WEC champion. Let's all give Aljamain Sterling his props, because Stipe defends the title 3 times in the heavyweight division. He's the greatest heavyweight of all time. So we need to talk about Aljamain Sterling being the greatest bantamweight of all time, or something on those lines, because he's the only one who's defended the bantamweight title 3 times. Noted. Okay, so he's fighting Sean O'Malley. Sean O'Malley is the number 2 ranked bantamweight. His record is 16-1, but he doesn't quite count the 16. Says it's 0. His last few fights, his last fight he fought Peter Yan, which is why he's in this position. Peter Yan's definitely is an awesome fighter, and he beat Peter Yan. That was a great match as well. Fight of the night honors as well. Before that, he fought Pedro Munoz, eye poke accidental, and before that he beat Pavala by TKO punches. This is a great fight. I like both fighters. Both of them are some of the best fighters in the bantamweight division. Who wins? If Aljamain Sterling cannot get Sean O'Malley to the ground, he's going to struggle in the striking department. If he's strictly striking, it's going to be Sean O'Malley. But I see Aljamain should be able to get the fight to the ground. If he can take down Triple C, he can take down anyone. And I don't think the amount of time that Sugar Sean has spent on his wrestling since his last fight against Peter Yan till now is enough time to bridge the gap to where he could nullify Aljamain's wrestling. So I'm in this fight here. I'm gonna say this: if I was to put my money down, I put my money down on Aljamain Sterling by decision or Aljamain Sterling by submission. It may be human backpack for 3 rounds potentially, 5 rounds potentially. But if it finishes, it's either submission by Aljamain Sterling or it's TKO by Sean O'Malley. So that is where I'll be putting my money on. I'll be betting my money on Aljamain Sterling by decision, Aljamain Sterling by submission, or Sean O'Malley by TKO. If we're talking about percentages, I'm going to say 55% I'm going with Aljamain Sterling, 45% I'm saying Sean O'Malley. But I like both fighters, and I won't be surprised I won't be surprised if Sean O'Malley wins by TKO either. Leave your thoughts.